I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
This is the serious version of Fred Willard saying,
He went after her like she's made out of ham.
the most primal of King's stories, a spare, elemental survival tome about monsters and the deterioration of both mind and spirit in human and doggo alike. What's most troubling is how plausible Dee Wallace and Danny Pintore's terrifying dilemma is. Stylishly directed and scored, as well as boasting a ferociously visceral central performance, Cujo's a tricky, loopy beast that takes a while to build up, but once it breaks that chain and lunges forth, teeth bared and snarling, it takes a bite out of the man versus nature genre and refuses to let go. Dee Wallace is one of our most beloved, yet underrated of genre performers. King has been known to put his characters through hell, and her gut-wrenching, often desperately hysterical performance is utterly convincing. Pintoro is also solid in his terrified, teary sobs, and the film cleverly foreshadows his less than positive attitude toward monsters. Wallace is forced to go full mama bear mode, and even if it's not that big, fluffy, rabid doggo's fault, her fuck you dog is right on. Screenwriters Dunaway and Turner carefully lay the groundwork for Cujo's descent into homicidal savagery. With a beautifully simple opener and several wince-inducing examples of audible irritations which push the poor infected pup to his breaking point. There's a deliciously evil irony to Wallace's husband and the police calling Lauder's house and the ringing of the phone very nearly sealing her and Pintoro's doom. This is strong, clear-eyed filmmaking. The efficiency with which Louis Teague and ace cinematographer turned future blockbuster filmmaker Jan de Bont attack this material is inspired. Fluid dollies, crane shots, they lend a classical feel, yet Teague also knows when to break it all down to its essence, hence an extremely tense scene where Ed Lauder's pig of a husband discovers his drinking bud's throat torn out and a handheld camera stalks his movement while he puzzles out what to do next. Nothing fancy, just pure storytelling. The attacks themselves are stunningly realized. Intense is a word which gets thrown around a lot, but considering how badly this could have turned out, the editing, sound design, and the actors being chowed on bring the barbaric reality to the surface. It doesn't hurt that Charles Bernstein's pulse-pounding score is outstanding. Not only does Cujo get his own ominous theme, but many of the staccato, thumping musical cues get right under your skin. It's tricky to judge Cujo's slower, more mundane passages because ultimately, each plot beat makes sense even if the later scenes impede upon the central conflict's wickedly cruel vortex of fear. Let's face it, there isn't much story here, and that's by King's and the filmmaker's design. But you gotta do something. Hence, forced creepiness like an inexplicable foggy morning straight out of a Hammer horror. One can't deny the tantalizing possibility of staying with Wallace and Pintoro for the entirety of the latter half and foregoing any scenes of respite. That would likely result in a grueling endurance test, and even if most of the supporting players are adequate at best, they have enough to do with the plot to justify their inclusion. You have to forgive its lags because they're necessary. Once the primary plot kicks in, this is a mesmerizingly brutal example of resilience and courage. Happy Kingtober. Like and subscribe, and remember, there are other worlds than these.